Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Senior Daddy, Francis Kofigah. It's a real pleasure to have you here on the call today. So, first and foremost, we've been running this masterclass for the past three sessions, once a month, and it's been very insightful, and we are very excited as well to climax all of that with Mr. Francis Kofigah, our resource person for today. So, before I drop the bombshell about the fun facts about Kofigah, I'd like to say, from his profile, he's a seasoned speaker with the passion for sharing his knowledge and expertise in the field of business, digital marketing, and personal development. I'm sure a lot of us know him for being the CEO of Doughman Foods, but beyond that, he does a lot of interesting things as well, which would delve right into in today's call. But more importantly, what we'll be doing today, we'll be talking about customer experiences and how to deliver personalized customer experience and above all, automating all of that. But fun fact, back in school, Kofigah was the DHP, and I was his customer because I was a student going to the DHP, and I had experiences with him which were not very pleasant. So I was punished and all that. But I know he has learned from that. And today we're looking at the positive sides of customer experience and not the negative sides of customer experience, like what he did to me back in Presec in Daniel. So Kofigah, over to you at this moment. Maybe just tell us a brief about yourself and maybe things that I have not covered in the profile that I read.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Francis Kofigah. Everybody knows me as the CEO of Doughman Foods, obviously. Back in 2016, I couldn't have said I couldn't have called myself a CEO before. That was before we started the Doughman brand, and it was as a result of someone getting me these lovely donuts, and I felt like the donuts were like amazingly nice. So I said, the next time you are coming back, to visit me again, please give me these donuts. And the person goes and then comes back, and then they're like, oh, the donuts are finished. It happened like twice, 3 times. So I decided to go there again with a friend. And it turns out that the reason why the donuts always get finished is because people don't buy beyond a certain time. So she only does a limited quantity so that she can sell out, and then she's done for the day. So I figured there was a sales problem, and then I asked if we could partner together and then sell, and that's it. It's been amazing 7 years. We've learned so much, and part of the things that I've discovered is why Ronald is inviting me on this call today that I'll be sharing with everybody.
All right. Thank you very, very much. And hopefully, in addition to that, the fact that customer experience has transformed your business and whatnot. But I want to start from a very interesting post that I saw on your LinkedIn profile today. Actually, a post talking about today's webinar. So you mentioned that my biggest marketing mistakes in 2023, some of the biggest mistakes that you said you made in 2023, which you'd want us to learn from. And the first of them was not having a buyer persona or ideal client profile. That was number one. And number two, selling a product or service, not a concept. Then number three, writing weak, boring, and non-convincing copy. Then number four, advertising and asking for a sale, and you call that marketing, which I found that very interesting. Then communication was all about me and my products, not my clients. Now, in the bringing this into perspective with regards to what we are doing today, what would you want to say inspire the post, and what are the nuggets of wisdom that we can learn from the mistakes that you made in 2023?
All right. So 2023 was a very hard year, to be honest. Part of the reason being I felt our marketing wasn't on this artistic. And so I enrolled in a program. Because it was created by this guy from Australia, and started looking at some of the things that we were doing. I think what I was doing in my business, and it was giving me pointers on where he felt I was going wrong, right? And those were some of the lessons I took as a result of joining that class. Number one was that we were not selling to one particular person. We were selling to everybody. I mean, think of it like this. Everybody that starts business wants to sell to everybody. Generally, that's how I thought. Before now, I never understood or I never thought it was important to have a particular customer persona. I thought if we can brand ourselves well, we can get a lot of people to sell to. And the guy said no. So he told us a certain story, and he said, imagine I gave you a pistol, and I said shoot, let's say 10 house flats with a pistol.
Mm-hmm.
The easiest thing you would say is, okay, I'll just pick the gun and then look for somewhere maybe like a refuse dump where I'll shoot all the house flats. And he said, what if you could do something for the house lights to rather come and stand or come and squat at the mouth of the pistol? Now, how many pistols will you be able to shoot? And I'm like, oh yeah, it will be easier to get the house lights to come into the barrel, then you shoot, than you aiming house lights and shooting at the pistol. And so yeah, when you target people, or when you have a customer persona that you are aiming at, you become like your business become attractive to them. So they instead come to you versus you trying to chase each individual person that potentially could be a customer. And I'm like, oh, I now get what you mean. Exactly. So then that was like one of the biggest learnings for me in 2023. And that was a list. In fact, I think maybe we should go through the list one by one.
Yes, I mean, it's very, very profound. But one of the items on the list that I would want us to maybe talk more about is the one that has to do with communicate. Okay, actually 3 of them. So the first one has to do with advertising and asking for a sale, and we call that marketing. So I would want to get your thoughts on that and bring that home as to knowing your customer. You're speaking about customer persona. We'll get more into that, but doing all of that in customer experience, how would you correlate the two, or how would you put that in perspective for us?
Good. So when it comes to marketing and advertising, the two are usually put together in one sentence, but they mean different things. In very, very plain English, advertising is telling people about what you do. Marketing is educating people and then creating in them a desire to want more of the thing that you sell. They seem similar, but they're different. When I just tell you, hey, I sell donuts, I'm advertising. But if I do certain things that will create in you a desire to want to get donuts, and I say, guess what? I have the donuts for you. Then that is marketing, right? And so usually what we would traditionally do is we would create a flyer and have all these donuts listed there and say, we are selling donuts, coming by. We are selling donuts, coming by, advertising, right? But the shift for me in marketing became the things and the steps we need to take so that we can educate this customer persona on why donuts are important or why they should come and buy our donuts. Because generally, we are not the only people that sell donuts in Ghana. I mean, we have competitors. So why should you go to person A, person B, person C, person D if they're all selling the same product? It's how they market that will attract their customer persona. And that was the biggest learning for me. I don't know if it makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense. That's very, very profound. I have a follow-up question from that. So you've spoken about customer persona. What is customer persona?
Good.
And in answering that, maybe then let us know how you factor that in delivering the right customer experience for your customers.
Right. So think of it as the person that can get the best benefit or the best value out of your service or your product. I'll use an example. If I was selling a book on, say, time management, right? Yeah, I mean, everybody could potentially benefit from a book on time management. But now, if I said I'm selling this book on time management for sales professionals, now I've limited the scope to people who are into sales. How do they manage their time so they can get the best out of sales? Now I say, okay, I want to limit it further to so I want to limit the book to time management for sales professionals who are into B2B. Now it's no longer sales professionals who are on the street or they are B2B focused. Then I said, okay, no, I want to even go deeper. I want to sell a time management book for sales professionals, B2B, for companies who are into, say, gardening or farming or agriculture. Now, I've limited the scope, but because I limited the scope, I get to, I mean, the things I say in my advertising and my marketing are specific to people in that, we call it niche. And that is what I mean by customer persona. Understanding the person who benefits the most from the thing that you're selling.
Interesting. So how does that impact positively the customer experience? And maybe probably in the case of Doughman Foods, as always, you've been running for the past 7 years with exceptional customer service. How have you used that to also improve what you guys do? If you can tell us a story around that.
Awesome. Thank you. So that shift for me is one of the reasons why we came to mNotify for the chatbot, right? Traditionally, or before now, what we would do is we would we had agents. I think we had 4 agents at the time who had phones, and then when customers wanted to buy donuts, they would just text on WhatsApp or Instagram, Facebook DM, or phone call. And they say, please, I want to buy donuts, blah 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 blah. And then we'll ask you, how many donuts do you want? Where should we deliver it to? Is there anything we should tell the customer? Okay, fine, end of story, and then it's gone. But with the chatbot, what it enabled us to do is we were able to pre-screen or pre-frame what the customer sees before they even start ordering, because like you could set the message before the customer sees. I think WhatsApp business has that by default, but with a chatbot, it was like you amplify it on steroids. And then the next step, you could now start asking specific questions that you can now start tailoring the kind of donut suggestions that the customer should get, right? And then after everything is done, when the donut is delivered, there's a button where the delivery rider has to say, I have delivered it. And then it sends a message back to the customer, says, your order has been delivered. Please give us this feedback. And then when they give us the feedback, we can now look back at the customer again and say, oh, about maybe 2-3 days ago, you give us this feedback, you place an order for this person, this. And then it starts becoming personalized, right? And so right from the beginning, once we understood that marketing wasn't advertising and we are speaking to a particular person, we can now start tailoring our marketing and everything towards that person, that targeted person. That, I don't know whether it makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense. And already the first page of my notebook is filled with notes and a lot of interesting nuggets. But I think we'll explore more AI and customer experience. But I'm more interested in the feedback mechanism because I found that very interesting. And for those of you who don't know, Kofigah was one of the first customers that we had for our chatbots and really helped us create the right customer
experience. And Ronald gave me very good discount.
But beyond that, I realized that over the years, a lot of businesses and SMEs hardly take feedback from their customers. And even when they do take feedback from their customers, they hardly use that to improve upon their business. But what Kofigah, you are saying is that with the help of chatbot, you've been able to personalize this customer experience to every user that you have through the chatbot. Exactly. And above all, you've been able to then now respond to their feedback, call them, address them by their name, because the chatbot allows you to mention their names as well. But I'm curious to know, What are some of the, maybe you don't have to give us the very details, but the feedback that you received, what was one that was totally bad, and what did you do to rectify that?
One of it that was, in fact, it was happening before, but we just didn't pay attention to it until like a chatbot. One of them was delivery time, right? Yes, I knew. I mean, we had a sense that delivery was being delayed, but when the customer said the order was delayed, now we went to track at what time the order came in, at what time the dispatch said he had delivered it, at what time the customer gave the feedback. We were able to actually see by how long was the thing delayed. And then we went to investigate, oh, okay, it was because of this and this and this and this and this. So like things like that. Another one was sugar, that it was too sweet. And we went to check, okay, it was because of this particular thing, because for us, we use icing sugar to make the donuts look more colorful. But in your bid to make it look colorful, you are trading taste versus appearance. And so the person wanted something the person wanted to solve an appearance problem, and we were solving with a taste solution. But it was because we started using a personalized system, we could now start saying, okay, this person doesn't like sugar. Next time, don't give sugar options. You did this person prefers this, do this instead. Things like that.
Interesting. So I'm also wondering. So before the chatbots, how are you doing all of this? Were you having like a notebook, or how are you keeping track of?
The other thing is until you start tracking that you can even know what do you measure. Before then, I just do freestyle. I just do freestyle. After when the feedback comes, it was okay. Well, what can we do? What can we do? Then we'll just run to the drawing board. But at least with AI now, you can preempt. You can think ahead of the customer before even the customer gets it. Right.
And it's very exciting, because now we know that with AI, you're able to really scale your business, and we are here because of MEST Scale, and the fact that MEST Scale helps businesses like yourself and myself to scale their business, and you need some of these AI tools to effectively scale. And I'm also curious to know, right? So you mentioned bits and pieces of different conversations, which I felt had to do more with the customer journey. So I'd want to, and I mean, you've dropped several nuggets and bombshells. I'm trying to put everything together into one piece and ask this question.
Okay.
From your LinkedIn post, you are saying that, I mean, it's all about the customer. It starts with the customer. Communication should be about the customer. So that means everything you do has to be about the customer, and that essentially also affects the kind of experience that you give to the customer. But let's put it all under the umbrella of customer journey. What would you say customer journey plays in offering that superior customer experience? Because you mentioned, for example, there were things that were happening earlier on that were already there. You knew about some of them, you didn't know about some of them. But before, for example, you decide, okay, I want to take on and improve my customer experience. What do I have to do about my customer journey? And for those who are on the call that don't know what customer journey is as well, you could let us know what that is, so we start and have that build up.
Right. So to answer it, maybe I should tell a story, and then I don't know if you do have time to tell a story.
You have all the time. Take us away. Blow us away.
So I kind of on a story of a barber, right? Barber, like the Ukate. And this guy, before he started his barbering salon, was he was working in the financial industry. He had been there for like 15 plus years, and then he was next in line to become branch manager of his branch. Then just a few months short of becoming branch manager, he said he was going to quit. Like he wants to stop working in the financial industry and then go into barbering. And it was like, nah, no. He said, no. I want to become a barber. I mean, his friends thought the guy was very local. I mean, so eventually he turned in his resignation, and then he started building this shop with savings that he had gathered over time. Eventually, when the shop was ready, he printed the flyers. Then he went around town saying, I've opened a barbering salon for men that work in the financial industry.
Wow.
He went to the banks, went to the microfinance institutions, asset management institutions, any institution that was a financial related institution. Those were the men he was looking for. The story says when he opened the salon, the first people that came, when he's cutting your hair for you, he will say things like, "I like your shirt." Men who work in the financial industry, their shirts must be crisp. It must have a particular look. The next time you're in the market to buy your shirt, because I have experience working in the financial industry, come and buy a shirt from here, and then he show you like a wide range of shirts that he has. Then just when he's done with you and you're going to pay, he says, "No, I'm not taking the money. There's a young lady sitting by the door. She will take your money." Then the young lady she had a PT there. She will ask your name, your phone number, which company you work for, things like that, even before the payment, and then print the receipt for you. While she's asking you all that, she said, "I like your smell." But when men work in the financial industry, there's a way that because you interface with clients a lot, you must smell good and be properly groomed. In the next time you are in the market to buy perfume, we have a wide range here for men who work in the financial industry, because our boss has been working there for 15+ years. Then just when you are exiting and you are about to sit in your car or however you came to the place, the security man walks up to you and says, "Oh, sir, nice haircut." Men who work in the financial industry, usually people who their clients use their cars as collateral, or they want to change their cars or things like that. We have a third party connection that if you want to rent, swap, or sell your car, we can we can help you. So next time you are coming here, or next time you have any issues with your car, you can come to this barbering salon and we can sort you out. This man made more money from his other things than just the barbering salon. I said that story because when you understand who you are selling to, you can now start mapping out what he sees, what he does when it comes to your business, and then even after he's done relation with your business, what should happen to him. The lady that was taking the details, is asking your name and things like that. 2 weeks after your haircut, they send you an SMS that says, "Men who work in the financial industry must always look sharp, and it's been 2 weeks since you came here to cut your hair, and so here's 10% discount to come and get your haircut." Right? So it's the whole process from start to finish is tailored towards me and my needs. This is somebody who understands men in the financial industry. So I'm using that story so you can understand what customer journey is. Your customer journey is what the customer sees about your business even before they relate with you. It's super critical. If I'm going to sell something that's high price, right? Maybe I'll use Doughman as example. Generally in the market space, donuts are sold for maybe 3 cedis, 5 cedis, right? But for me, I have a donut that's like 15 cedis. What primes the customer before they even get to you, so that when you say one is 15 cedis alone, it depends on what they see in the journey. It's the experience they have before they interact with you, when they are interacting with you, and after they have interacted with you, that forms the customer journey. And so when you understand who you are selling to, you can map this up. And today that we have AI, these things are seamless. Like it's so possible, right? I'll give an example. There's a marketing tool called Scorecard. And maybe I'll put a link there. And usually, what it looks like a survey. Typically, you're answering maybe 5 to 10 questions. But this tool, when you start, they'll ask you maybe your name and your email address, and then ask you certain questions.
although it's asking you questions, let's say it's a survey on financial habits, for example, and I ask you, where do you save? What is your income bracket? How long have you been working in so industry? Things like that. The questionnaire is actually causing you to think, because it's causing you to think. So before you are even down with taking the survey, you're like, I should really invest. I should really save my money. I should really change exactly work in your mind. Then when you are done and then you press the survey, there's an AI thing behind the platform, and then it sends you a PDF report specific to the questions that you answered and the answers that you gave. It's able to tell that, okay, you spent 30 seconds in answering this question. It looks like maybe there's a reason why something is happening to you. It's different from just a regular Google form that you send, right? And then after it's done, the AI can predict that, okay, then you need to take this course, you need to buy this product, you need to invest in so and so. And then I think that's not enough. After like 2-3 days, it sends you and I mean you are enrolled into an email marketing thing, and they send you based on your service. In fact, every email that comes to you based on your service, because they have worked. Yeah, good. They have worked on your mind already. And so now maybe somebody from the company now reaches out to you and says, okay, you did this survey, this is your score and everything, you are already predisposed to buy, and it's okay. The thing is 5,000. Meanwhile, if I just come to you and say we are selling this at 5,000, you're like, nah, I'm not going to buy this for 5,000. But you've been planned. You went on a journey before the price was disclosed to you. Exactly.
So then that's also to say that probably customer experience isn't only about your customers, but about if your prospects, your customers, your returning customers as well. If I may, would you say that would be the reason? So I think it would mean that if someone is my target audience, they're not even my customer, the kind of experience I give them would inform whether they even become my customer. Then the kind of experience I give them will also inform whether they become a returning customer. So then the customer experience starts even from before they are customers.
Exactly. You said it right. You said it right. One of the things I teach when I'm speaking at programs, or I'm teaching people on entrepreneurship marketing and things, I say, you don't get a loyal customer after the transaction. It's before the transaction. Everything you do before the money is exchanged hands or the service is rendered is what will inform whether the person is going to be loyal or not. It's so important. So important. The videos they watch, the pictures they see, who speaks to them, even your website. Like when you know one of the funny things that I didn't know, but now I understand. I thought, let's say, mNotify. If I ask you what is your website, you tell me mNotify.com, right? Like that's generally what we have understood domain names to be. It's my name, I mean the company name, .com, .org, .io, or anything like that, right? But the understanding I have, or I share with people, is that your domain name usually should either address the problem that your customer is having, or it should talk about the solution that your customer will get when they interact with your service. So a domain name could be like cheapestbulksms.com, right? So when you have a marketing material that doesn't look like an ad, but it's an ad, it could be like a post on, let's say, GhanaWeb.com or something like that, and you're talking of why SMS cost is skyrocketing, and then at the bottom it says, if you want to have the cheapest rate for SMS, cheapestsms.com. It doesn't even look like an ad. It doesn't even look like related to mNotify. But now when you go there, what I see, the things you put on that side is going to lead me to mNotify.com.
Interesting. So, I think one thing that we've been trying to do, or that I do, is that I, when I'm registering my domain, sometimes I look for a way to infuse what we do in there. But we do that mainly for search engine optimization. But I think that's another way to think of that. So for example, we have chatbotsafrica.com, and the idea is that we offer chatbots solutions in Africa, right? But I was doing that mainly because of SEO and not.
Okay.
But I mean, that's
think
also
of the human beings as well. Think of the
yeah,
human beings as well.
yeah, but that's also very, very profound, and thanks for dropping that as well. So I would want to know, now while you were speaking, I was also thinking about branding, right? Because sort of branding also talks about the perception. So if I'm offering the right customer experience, how does that also fit into branding? I mean, I want us to sort of put all these pieces together so we have like a clear picture of how everything falls in place. So what would you, we've spoken about sales, about marketing, customer journey, and how all of that tying into customer experience. But what would you also say about branding? And when yeah, exactly. Please go ahead.
Right. So typically branding is my previous understanding. Yeah, I'm using that phrase because I used to think of in a particular way, but now and something has shifted. Previously, I used to think branding was about the logo, or it was about our slogan. So we need to have some catchy slogan, have some logo, and then that was our brand. But the brand is the stories people tell when they relate to your business, right? Everything about your company or your personality becomes your brand. What we traditionally see about brand building is people would maybe take nice pictures of their product, nice videos of their product, post it on social media, and then call it maybe advertising or even marketing, and then they say, okay, we are building a brand. But the new perspective that I have, especially in doing targeted or personalized form of outreach or marketing, is that brand building is for companies that have big, deep pockets. The Coca-Cola, the Apple, and things like that. They can afford to shoot an ad or shoot a video or design something they can spend $1 million plus to show at the Super Bowl, and people see it, and that's it. We are gone. For small businesses or people who don't have that deep pocket, I would say that if you are going to build a brand, go with something we call direct response marketing. You will get the brand eventually, you get the brand awareness eventually, but you want to get people to respond to your ad immediately because you may never get to see them again. When somebody sees your product or your service, we hope that if they may take an action, they will come and buy, they will come and use our service. One day, they may switch from their vendor and then come to us. So that's typically how we advertise. But with direct response marketing, we say when a person sees your ad, the only reason for that ad is to call you or to contact you. So the person is going to exchange an email, a phone number. We're going to exchange an address. You should have a way to contact the person beyond just seeing the ad, right? And so once the person has now seen your ad, you now get to talking to the person, sending emails, on the SMS, phone call, tell me how much you get to reach to the person, and then you can build a brand from there. So that's my perspective on brand building. Don't just do it with like the way the deep pocket companies do it. Do it with a direct response and then build your brand.
And build your brand from there. Thank you very much for that submission. I mean, I also strongly believe that branding is also how you make the customer feel, which also ties into customer experience, right?
The stories that they tell when you relate to people.
Exactly. So it looks like all of these are tied into one. But let's talk about challenges. I mean, let's not make it look like all of this is easy to get. So, and I would want to get the Doughman perspective or the Kofigah perspective from an entrepreneur's point of view. I mean, we all start businesses and we want to offer the best in customer experience, best customer service. And we even sometimes go out to get the tools and fancy AI stuff to do all of that. But sometimes it doesn't work out well. What could be some of the challenges that could stop us from being able to offer the superior customer experience and sort of make the customer feel the way we want them to feel?
The biggest for me has been, I don't know whether it's culture or just human nature. People don't want robots. They want a human touch. So you advertise and say, to get the best experience, to get the fastest, seamless order experience, and send hi to this chatbot or send hi to this number, and then you can place your order within next like 2 or 3 minutes. Then no, I want to call. So we advertise the number. It's a WhatsApp number. Someone actually dials the number and says, your phone is off. He said, no, it's a chatbot number. It's like those are like people just want to they are used to interfacing with humans, and so those are some of the challenges. Another one is even in the order process, there's a defined way that the chatbot is asking questions, and then they want to say, no, I don't want to choose 1 and 2. I want to type my own English. I want to type my own. But I mean, those are the edge cases now is reduced. We've brought out like videos or ways to talk to the chatbot so that it can what's the English says? You can navigate around things like that. Right. Then another thing too is technology always has a way of misbehaving. Back in MEST, one of the things we used to call something demo goal. You build an app, the app works. I mean, it runs smoothly. Everything is on point. Then just when it's time for you to demo to Yon, right? Yon is in a room. You get like this. Everybody's there, and then you set your PC up just to show the demo. Something goes wrong. Something's crashing there. Something that you didn't have to use a demo god. Yeah. So funny thing to say. Yeah, but tech always has maybe some glitch, some hiccups, 1 or 2, and sometimes people are unforgiving when someone has told them that, oh, if you use this thing, it's very seamless, it's very straightforward, it's very easy, and then when I use it, I'm facing problems and internet speed, it's making a thing load, all those things happen, and sometimes it can get frustrating. But
that's interesting. So I mean, at mNotify, we also most of the time get some of these complaints that like we develop a chatbot for a client and you see that people are calling the number instead, and I find that very interesting. So one of the things that we did, for example, was also to introduce another solution, right, called Phone Anchor, which is a call center solution. So it allows you to sort of combine your chatbots and your calls all streamlined into one channel. So that way, independent of the channel that the customer is reaching out to you, you're able to engage them. You're able to have an IVR that also sort of routes them and guides them to the right outcome as well. And just hearing you speak made me think of that and realize that maybe while we're doing that, you had a cultural perspective in mind, which meant that we're looking at a situation where Ghanaians might not want to type, but might want to speak to someone, or might be angry and want to speak to someone. So instead of just a chat or an AI on WhatsApp, how about we build an AI on voice as well to help them understand? And one exciting feature as well on that as well is has to do with sentiment analysis. So you're able to even from the tone of the customer be able to know whether they are happy, they are sad, whether this thing has to be treated immediately or can be defended and whatnot. And these are some of the things that AI is able to allow us to easily do to personalize the experience that we offer to customers, right? But I would want to know from you, what are some of the factors that you need to consider when you decide that you want to offer smooth experience, customer experience, and you want to choose, let's say, tool number A, tool number B? I know we'll go into the tools, but before that, what are some of the things that are right for you to consider? I think we've spoken about channels. You've spoken about culture as well, because maybe you want to know the channels that your customers would want to engage on. Maybe they would want to speak to you as against chat with you. Cultural wise, they might feel if they talk to you, that's more value for money for them. But beyond all of this, what are some other factors that you say are worthy of doing?
I mean, like you even said everything already. But one of things I want to add to it is this: you need to have something that is working offline before you even engage the tech. The tech is supposed to automate and amplify what you are already doing, not solve something that you haven't done before, right? So usually somebody would say, "Oh, I want to make my business grow. I want to scale my business," but meanwhile they're not doing certain fundamental things that will help them scale. So they have the tools, they have the system, but they can't. I mean, you give it to them, they can't do anything with it. It's like somebody who sees a carpenter do a very nice furniture and then say, "Oh wow, I'd like to do a furniture like that." So you go and buy a hammer, go and buy a nail, and you want to do it. Just because you have the tool doesn't mean that you can do the thing, right? So my advice is like you need experts like mNotify, right? They understand that okay, this is where you want to go to, and that's one of the things that I really enjoyed working with you and the team at mNotify. I said, "This is what I want to do." The guy said, "No, okay, let's start with this, let's do this and this and this. And then you can add this and then you can do this. And then eventually we can get them like, oh, okay." Because if you don't have the thing working offline in quotes, I'm using offline in quotes because if it's not working offline or you don't have the mindset behind it, the tools won't solve the problem. Right. So then that's one of the things to also consider. Have a system that you are using, and then you leverage the AI to scale up.
Thank you very much for that submission. And thank you for the kind words to mNotify as well.
You guys are good at what you do. That one day, I'll give it to you. You guys are good at what you do. I like that. Once I know. In fact, I thought I was telling you this. Valentine's Day this year. After we had implemented the chatbot. I think we implemented a chatbot 2022.
2 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, 22 or 21.
2 years ago. 2 years ago. We started a conversation
right.
About 2 years ago.
Right. So then this year, Valentine's Day this year, prior to now, when it's Valentine's Day, we take pre-orders. So we'll say calling, sending your orders, and then we'll deliver it on Valentine's Day. And usually it will be manual because it was pre-ordered. We have to now get all the orders come in, and then before 2 days in time, we'll sit down and then we'll sort things out. Okay, wow. These are all the orders that are going to Kwashiman. These are all the orders that are going to Chesham. These are all the orders that are going to East Legon. These are all the orders that are going to this other place. And then now, after you sort out, now you have to, okay, how many people want 6 donuts? How many people want 12 donuts? How many people want this one? Then on top of that, on Valentine's Day, we have other things like we have cards, we have drinks, we have ribbons and teddy bears and things like that. How many people want the teddy bear? It has to be manual, but with a chatbot, seamless, because the chatbot has taken, okay, so these are all the locations. In fact, when you're entering your location, it allowed you to take the Google Map coordinates. And so it will map out and say, okay, these are all the locations or delivery points around this area. So all these orders, these are the ones with teddy bears, these are the one with chocolate, these are the one with 6, blah, 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 blah. I mean, it's organized fantastic. So like, I mean, mNotify, you guys are on point with
thank you, thank you very, very much. But I don't want to play the devil's advocate over here. So and I mean, I'm still going back to that point because I would want us to talk more about that.
Okay.
So you decided to get a chatbot from mNotify. It's working very, very well. But didn't people feel like they were now going to lose their jobs, or they were going to look like they are not like doing the right job? How were you able to get like the entire team to go along with you on this journey? And to a bigger question, how do you get your entire team to move with you on any tool that you decide you want to go with? Yeah.
True. True. Adoption is always a sort of, it looks like it's scary, but it's not scary at all. For us, when you can demonstrate the value, people accept it. But if you don't demonstrate the value, and then I mean, like they see that, or they see that it seems like I'm going to lose my job because of this new introduction. That's when people start getting edgy. What we did was the personnel, or the thing that your customer, the AI, or sorry, the chatbot was come to do, the personnel, we help them to understand that this is going to make your job easier and faster, because they, in fact, it gives them more room to now get more customers, because now instead of you responding, we respond to each message from a customer. Now you are looking for new customers to come and respond to the chatbot. I mean, to go and speak to the chatbot. So I mean, they understood that, okay, the role is changing, or the job description is changing, but the value is going to be higher.
Let's see. Yeah.
Right. And then also the another thing is training. Training. I couldn't emphasize that enough. You need to train. You need to train. You need to demonstrate. You need to and then one of the other things too is to be able to quantify and make it measurable. So you are looking at, if you were to do this work, it takes you 25 minutes to take an order from a customer. If 30 customers all hit you up and you're going to spend 25 minutes per customer, that's like a whole day gone. Now this thing is able to speak to 25 customers within 5 minutes, right? So be able to quantify, and then you train the people on it. They're like, oh, okay, you understand that. And then you can now start showing them that, okay, if now we have more orders coming in and we have less time to take the orders, now we can focus our energy on this thing, and then we can make more money, and then you get more salary.
Exactly. That you get more salary.
Exactly.
So
your ability to demonstrate it and to show them the value. They adopt it.
Then how about customers? Also, how do you get customers buying? Because, for example, I know I've asked well, they would want to talk to the CEO, but you are telling it's AI, or how do you? And I mean, you see, at the end of the day, you want to use these tools, but there are times when these tools sort of give a negative experience rather than a positive experience. So how do you avoid these tools that come in to improve things? How do you avoid them from becoming the negative experiences that you get?
Yeah. So it always happens. Like even when before we even introduce like the chatbot, people would call me personally and say, I want to talk to CEO to place my order, even though we had like staff dedicated to it. It's similar to what I was saying about the staff demonstrating the value. When you text me on WhatsApp, maybe I'm in a meeting, like I'm on a call like this, someone texting me to place an order. Like it will take maybe 10 minutes before I respond. Then another 10 minutes before I respond to a second one. And then or sometimes you are calling and I'm in the middle of somewhere, I'm driving or something. Like I can't answer a call. And so showing them that this is, it's not like we are breaking our friendship or breaking our relationship. We are just enhancing it so that everybody is happy. Your ability to, and the word is vulnerable, your ability to show some vulnerability, that we are also human, right? We also have limited time, limited resources, and so if you use this, it will benefit you and I. People easily accept it. But when we try to be, now just go and use the chatbot. Nah, we want to talk to human beings. But showing the human side of it, what we go through. So I remember I got a video. Like a videographer, and we did behind the scenes what we go through to take an order. I mean, what we go through to deliver an order to a customer. So we start at 4 a.m. when we wake up, we mix the dough and the things like that, and then the people to put the toppings on it. So the customer service is attending to this person, is doing this thing, is now typing all this one, writing out all the orders, and we are now going to batch. It's okay. delivery guy, delivery guy 1, you are going to here. Delivery guy 2, you are going here. Delivery guy 3, you are going here. All that process, we made them feel how we felt, and now we say, okay, we want to shift it, and then now use the chatbot so that they understood why the shift was necessary, and that's what has made like adoption better.
So I think that the biggest thing is getting the customer buy-in or the stakeholder buy-in. Making sure that if it's for the customer, we are giving you better delivery time. If it's for the staff, you are getting more salary because you are getting more others as well. That's very interesting. I think at this point, I want us to take a breather and get questions from our audience. I don't know if there are any questions. You can drop them in the chat section. Now, we also had very interesting polls we wanted to share. Unfortunately, our polling tool isn't up yet, but I wanted us to get interactive because as mNotify, an engagement company, so we like to engage our audience, right? So I just wanted to know from our audience, on a scale of 1 to 10, how knowledgeable are you about delivering exceptional customer experiences? How knowledgeable are you also about the tools that you use to deliver exceptional customer experiences? So if maybe you could just type in the box for us. Also, for those that have questions as well, you can drop them in the question and Q&A section. I see that Pearl has a question, and a very exciting question, which I'll get into very soon. But feel free to drop your questions in the chat, in the questions and answer section. And we are just curious to know, on a scale of 1 to 10, how familiar are you with tools for offering customer experience, and how familiar or how have you been able to deliver exceptional personalized customer experiences for your customers? So while we wait on the audience to type that Kofigah, I have a very interesting question from Pearl.
Okay.
So Pearl says, "Hi team, I'm curious. I would like to know Francis's worst experience with automation tools." So now we are not talking about your experience with deploying the tools, but whether it's be it deployment alone, be it the tools so far, the experience, or what has been your experience with tools? Which ones have you tried out? Which ones worked well, didn't work well?
Yeah, I mean, so like I said, it's the worst experience is adoption, and also like the beginning phases or the starting phases of anything. Anything you are starting usually looks like the beginning is always difficult. On top of mine, well, like one of the worst times of automation was when a certain guy on Valentine's Day. Please, I'm going to say this off camera. So this guy has, like, let's say, I don't know, 3 girlfriends or something, like side chick 1, side chick 2, side chick 3, and then places an order and says, this is for Ama, this is for Sewa, this is for Akosia, right? And then the thing, or I don't know whether he didn't type it well or we didn't organize the screen well. So Akosia got Sewa's phone, and Sewa got Ama's phone, and they all had the same name under. And then now the guy called, Juma, you gave Akosia Sewa, hey, where's the experience? So like sometimes when you automate things and then they mix up, wahala. Like Pearl, yeah, exactly. Wahala for you. So like that's like some of my some of the things that happen.
I see Pearl's comment. Say wahala, right? I think off the top of my head as well, I realize that majority of the time, as business owners as well, we like to look out for external tools, like tools out developed by in the US and the UK, and they most of the time lack local context, right? So you take, for example, a foreign tool and you bring it down and you want to implement it, and you realize I need a consultant to come in or whatever before you're able to implement that tool. And I mean, for us, some of these things that we do is because we tried to deploy external tools and realize that no, they don't work well. And it's better for you to have a local company doing a local tool that works very well for you. And I'm happy that you do what we do. Yeah, because they always have like the local context and the like. So I will be launching the poll. Angela will be launching our first poll very soon as well. So we get to hear from the audience, because beyond Pearl, I'll still want to hear from more audience on what they have to say about that. So there'll be one that will be shared very soon. But also, I'm curious to know. I mean, you've said all the good things about Chatbots Africa, what we are doing, and for me, I always say that AI is the future for everything that we do. But I'm curious to know, has there been a time where you've thought, no, maybe AI might fail me, or you've thought maybe like we need to slow down? You know, there's that debate ongoing about AI.
Yeah. I'll say the truth. I'll say the truth. So when I got into email marketing and trying to build relationship with customers, there was an AI tool. There was an AI tool that helps you to generate your email marketing content, right? And so it was like how do you call it? You fill in the blanks in certain cases. So I filled in the blanks. I've been doing this for 6 years. I sell donuts. Yeah. I feel that. So I feel the template. Then the AI did this thing. I think it was using ChatGPT. It did this thing. Then it gave me send this email 1, send this email 2, send this email 3. So I scheduled everything into the email what do you call it? Email marketing platform. And then I sent it out, and I said, reply with your comment or with your feedback or anything like that. And I think I don't know whether it was first or second, but the feedback that came was we can read through. It said you can see through that the writing is not authentic. I'm like, Charlie, I thought I'd written correct English, nice English. So I said, no, I won't. But the funny thing is, I just made I think it was 6 emails. All the emails went. The engagement on those emails were lower than when I actually now started using my life story to write the email marketing content. And that's like one of the things for me. That sometimes you can go too much on the AI. Content, ChatGPT will write for me. This one, everything will do for me. But sometimes when you do it yourself, the human touch is there, the human connection is there. Even my post on LinkedIn, I'm like, I will only use ChatGPT to generate the idea or the concept, but I will use my life experience and my small English that I know to actually write. Like just copy and paste something, because it just won't connect to the audience. Sometimes they can read through it.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that. So I mean, for me, I always say this anytime I talk about chatbots and I have to give a lecture on chatbots and AI, that first and foremost, you should know that you need to have a process which you are going to automate, which you have said a lot about. And beyond that as well, you need to not to be only overly reliant on AI, right? AI complements your work. It is not your work, right? So AI is supposed to make your work better and not replace your work as well. So as much as you use both hand in hand. So to our audience, you have our first poll. It's live now. So if you could check on your screens, and it's more about personal experience. We'd like to hear from what are the tools that you have tried out, that you've heard of, that you can share with us. So if you check the poll section currently, you'd see the first question, and we look forward to having very interesting stats on that. So Kofigah, we have another question from Desmond Kwame. So he's asking, please, can you give me the difference between customer retention and customer engagement? And I would want to add, and putting all of this under the umbrella of customer experience, because today is customer experience. But what would you say is the role of customer experience, or the link between customer experience, customer retention, and customer engagement?
Customer experience, customer retention. What was the second one? Retention and then engagement.
Yes, customer engagement. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let me start from here. We generally don't do what we call lead generation in our part of the world. Very few people do it. that people or potential customers that you can sell to. Is one of the things that we don't do too often. But a lead is somebody who hasn't spent money with you yet. They may spend in the future, but they haven't spent with you yet. And so you need to engage them until when they are ready to buy, and then they actually come and buy with you. But after they have bought, now you need to retain them. You need to retain them. And the only way to retain somebody is to engage again. And so engagement happens before, engagement happens after. But the before one is you are generating a lead, or you want the person to become a customer. Then after the person has become a customer, you want to keep engaging so the person keeps coming back. What I'm doing now is, whether you like it or not, the people who spend money with you, they would want to spend bigger money with somebody else. And so if you don't have a product or a service that they can spend the money with you, they will by all means go to somebody else and go and spend that money at. Right. So one of the retention strategies is actually having a higher, a premium offer or a premium price package or product that they can spend on. Then you can retain that customer or keep that customer still using your product or your service over time. So engagement happens before and then even after the transaction. Retention is you keeping the customer. But the experience is everything that happens or everything that the customer goes through during their customer journey with you. The difference is when I send you an email or I send you an SMS or you see a phone call from my customer service people, we are engaging. But how you feel based on whatever email you receive, whatever SMS you receive, or how you felt when the call came to you is the experience. People will, there's a quote you say, I'll forget what you said, I'll forget what you did, I'll forget everything, but how you made me feel, I won't forget it. Right? So the experience is how you made the person feel. So you can have some automated system that is sending SMS, and the SMS doesn't address their pain, it doesn't address their problem, it doesn't address anything, it just says come and buy. The experience will work.
Yes.
Right? The experience will work. And so it's what you make them feel, that's the experience. The engagement is you talking to them. Like one of the guys in my class, he was blasting restaurant owners like us. That when customers come to your restaurant and then they finish eating, you don't take their phone number, you don't take their email, you don't even ask their name. Take money, go home. Take money, go home. And then there's never a way to re-engage or retarget or bring them back into your restaurant again, right? So just because the customer has come to eat there once doesn't mean that you have retained the customer. Yeah. You have to find a way to keep the customer coming back. There are like 1,000,001 restaurants from his house to where your restaurant is. And so you do things that keep them engaged so that they can keep coming back, and then you say you have retained them. And then they have a nice experience. So this restaurant, they know me, they know my taste, they talk to me well. The experience I have with them, I'll say 100 over 100.
Wow.
I hope I answered it well.
Yeah. I mean, and just to add to that, the way I would also see this from all that you said is that you can sort of let them intertwine, where you say that the way you engage your customer determines the experience you give them, who determines that you retain them or not. So that's
excellent.
Also intertwined, which is a very, very interesting submission from what you made. I think we'll end our first poll for now to get some of the response and feedback. Also, Mr. Kofigah has also shared the link to the Score app, and it's doughmanfoods.com/score app. So doughmanfoods.com/SCOREAPP. So check that out as well. And Pearl has a very interesting question. I think personally, our customers for today are the webinar attendants, and I would want to nominate Pearl for a free Doughman package from Doughman Foods.
There's a plan. There's a plan for you.
But Pearl has another very interesting question, which I would want us to take, but after we see the response of the service. So if maybe we could get the response of the service showing on the screen. And while we wait for the response on the survey, yes, so we'll be ending the survey and the response will be shared. But while we wait on the response in the survey, Kofigah, we can't end the webinar. I mean, before our Q&A, we can't officially end the webinar without talking about tools that can be used for automation, right? Then we take Pearl's interesting question. So the first poll, which Kofigah, I don't know if you see the poll, but that's very exciting.
Yeah.
And I'd want to also hear from the audience on this. So we had 64% saying that yes, they have either used or heard of or tried the services of any tool that will help them to automate their personalized experiences for the personalized experience for their customers, right? And that for me is very interesting. That means that you have a knowledgeable audience, and that's good. So we'll go ahead to launch the second poll as well. And while they take the second poll, Kofigah, I mean, like I was saying, we can't end this session without talking about the actual tools that you need to automate or to streamline your customer experience. So up until now, we've been speaking about the structures you need to put in place, some of the challenges that you foresee that would happen that you need to overcome, some of the ways that you need to orient your business to be able to make them friendly or usable, to make sort of your business easy to sort of adapt these tools, right? But now I want us to talk about the tools. And I was reading an article the last time about this topic, about tools for automation. And I'm happy that Chatbots Africa via mNotify happens to do chatbots and virtual assistants that helps you to automate your sales, automate your FAQs and the likes. But I also realized that automation goes beyond chatbots and AI. And there are CRMs as well that help with improving your customer experience because one, they help you to understand your customer from different perspectives and different angles. There are email marketing tools that help you to automate engagements. There are bulk SMS marketing tool and SMS marketing tools like what mNotify does. That helps you to automate your engagements, send automated birthday alerts, address your customers by their names, even if you have hundreds of millions of customers and whatnot. We have customer automation tools, customer support automation tools like Chatbots Africa with the FAQs. We have other tools as well that do FAQs, social media management, analytics and insights, survey tools, and e-commerce automation, which we also do as well. So if I am a business and I'm listening to this webinar, there are 9 different areas of tools that I can have, from chatbots, to CRMs, to email and SMS marketing, to customer support, to social media, surveys and feedback, and e-commerce automation. Where would you say should be my starting point? Or how do I determine my starting point?
Okay, good. How do you determine starting point? I think it should be, there's no clear-cut, straight-jacket way to implement any of these things. I think the easiest would be the lowest hanging for you. Like I was saying earlier on in my submission, that you are not getting the tool to come in. There should be something offline before the online, or before this the robot come to help. The robot is only come to amplify something, come to help out or something. So the areas that you're already doing, can you get an AI to oversee that, free up time for you so you can focus on other things. But if you don't have anything at all, I think the lowest hanging fruit, the easiest one, you look through the list, the easiest one, like things like birthday. I can call my customers or send an email out and ask, what is your birthday? We want to celebrate you, or we want to send you a postcard, or we want to give you a discount on your next order when it's your birthday month. That kind of thing. Send an email. When they respond, put it into the system. So it depends on the business. It depends on the business. It depends on even the clientele. There are some businesses there, they're B2B, and so birthdays are not the main thing for them. Maybe it's anniversary, maybe it's customer support, right? are you facing a lot of problems in your customer support? Then maybe that should be something maybe you start working on offline before you get online. So it depends. It depends. I don't want to give one straight answer and say, oh, just jump on customer support or SMS marketing or anything like that.
Yeah.
Right.
So if I hear you, then what you are saying is that first and foremost, you need to start small, have the right processes, scale from there. Yes. Then I think the other thing that I hear from what you are saying as well, you need to also understand your customers and know that what touch points you need to start from, and what are the touch points that you need to automate first in order to free up your time to do the more important things. Then you constantly need to also evaluate and add on, right? Which for me are three things that I find very, very, very profound. So we've also launched our second poll, and we'd like to know which type of tool do you know about, or do you want to learn more about in terms of delivering exceptional customer experience and automating customer experiences. So we have chatbots, market automation, CRMs, and some of the ones that I was talking about. And Kofigah, while we wait for our audience to complete that poll, we have another question from Pearl. So Pearl, this is what Pearl is saying. So I think another challenge is most companies don't really appreciate customer experience processes based on personal experience. Clients do not really have business requirements for these tools. After implementing the tools, they get frustrated, they stop using the tools and go back to the manual processes. How do we handle situations like this? This is a very profound question.
I know.
Do you want me to repeat the question?
Yes. I mean, let's repeat the questions for our viewers who may not have the opportunity to see the question.
So I think another challenge is most companies don't really appreciate customer experience processes, right? So they don't appreciate customer experience processes. Based on my personal experience, clients do not really have a business requirement for these tools. So that means that there is no analysis done before you go for the tools. After implementing the tools, they get frustrated, they stop using the tools and go back to the manual processes. So how do we handle all of that?
Good. You know, at the beginning of this conversation, you said there's a difference between advertising and marketing. And I said advertising is when I show you what I have or the things I'm selling. And then marketing is when I educate you for you to have a desire to want the thing that I'm selling before I actually sell it to you, right? And so I think that sometimes we want to hope, or we assume that the customer knows what the thing is. And so when I just show the customer my solution, they would buy my product. Me for once, I mean, as an example, I like learning a lot. I like reading, I like learning, I like watching YouTube videos, like anything that would like to swell my mind with knowledge and information that I can implement and then grow my business. And so I end up buying courses, programs, books, and things that I haven't read yet. And I'm still buying, I'm still buying. And I find out that sometimes the reason why I don't immediately consume a course or a book or a program is not because I didn't spend money on it, but because I'm too used to doing things in a particular way, or the guy who sold the thing didn't sell it so well that I will understand the benefits. I just know that I can do this, but it's too tedious. Oh, I have to watch these videos and say, oh, nah, okay. I'll just go back to my routine. One day, when I have time, and that time never comes. But but back to the question, how do we handle a situation like that? I think making it seamless or making it easy for the person to use the service or the product is even one of the things, because you are changing a habit. And habits are not changed by with a button. I'm used to doing things like this, and you want me to change my behavior or my habit, and then come here. I won't just change habits like that. Like if you read a book, I should make habits. Like it tells you, it's better to start small, then introduce the person to, okay, so now this is the change. We are going live like this. If we must draw back, these are the penalties. You know, like you put some small management over there. It will cost you more if you stop using it. And so now that you're typed in, this is what you should do. We built an app for a certain so this is my app development days when I was in MEST. we built an app for a guy that wanted to do, he was running an auction, and an auction platform, and he would come and advertise his he got vendors to come and advertise their stuff, and then people will come and bid. I'll pay 1 cedi, 2 cedi, 3 cedi, and then you collect and you go and buy the item and then give it to the highest bidder. Very interesting business model. But at a point, in fact, the reason why the thing didn't scale was because he had so many other things he was doing. And then this idea required that he had to manually upload the product, so someone had to design the things. It was a new habit for him that he couldn't keep up with, right? And so although we built the thing and charge him, he said, "Oh, how much is this? I can just let it go," and he just shut down the site. But if he had built something in that every month he was paying out some money, he's like, he might be this house is going to go. Nah. Let me go and get so make it seamless, make it easier to adopt. Start small, and then also find a way to penalize if the person doesn't adopt. That's what I'll say.
Thank you very much. And I mean, when I saw the question, the first thing that came to my mind was the example you give about the carpenter, right? That you nice furniture, and then you go and take tools and you want to build that furniture, right? But what you don't take into consideration is that there was a plan, there was a vision, there was requirements that was set that I want a furniture that has this 5 legs, has this design.
Exactly.
So before you
fact,
take the
there was a reason behind the furniture, because it didn't just build something that maybe some designed to solve a problem. But you just see the end product, you don't know what problem was going, so you want to replicate. You want like that.
Yeah. So that's to say, we don't just do copy and paste. When you see someone doing something that's working, take it, but have localized context for your business before you go ahead with that too. And that's also a very, very interesting submission. Then we'll take our final question. But before our final question, then we maybe probably take your final words. Kofigah, the results of our polls are out, and the question was, what type of tool would participants be more interested in knowing about? And chatbots topped, which I'm sure is because AI is sort of trending as well, which is quite interesting. Then we have market automation, then CRMs, then personalization engines. So what I would say is that in the interest of time, for anyone that's interested in knowing more about chatbots and the work that we've been done with Doughman Foods and Kofigah, you can always reach out to us, info@chatbotsafrica.com, or go to our website, chatbotsafrica.com, and book a demo session with us, or book a free consultancy session as well with us. Currently, we are offering free consultancy services to help businesses to jump on the AI wagon as well. So feel free to book. So feel free to
consultancy services. I like that.
With the help of Mr. Kofigah. But feel free to book consultancy services with us, and would offer free advice on how to use some of these AI tools like the AI-powered chatbots, market automation, and the CRMs and personalized engines as well. So we'll share the link in the chat as well. But to take the final question from Desmond Kwame. So he's saying that I should ask Mr. Francis. So ask Mr. Francis, for me, as a restaurant owner, what tools can I use to retain my customers?
I mean, should I answer this question as a the automated personalized?
No, I think it can be rearranged. Any tools, any specific tools that.
So the default easiest one is like how you present your menu to your customers. It should, instead of just using like a card where they just look at the menu and choose their food, if you can use like a QR code where they scan and then they can see their orders, and they can see the food. Okay, option A, option B, option C, option C, and then maybe like a way for them to place the orders over there and say, I like this. Here's my phone number. Here's my email. Blah blah blah. That's like one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is to even before they even come into the place, you can say scan this code or get this coupon when you go to our website, and then give us your name and email address. I know we have seen people do it. Is they can say when you come, when you come, we don't take cash. We only take Momo. We take Momo, or we only take Momo, so that you are forced to use your number. Then we can have your phone number, and then we can send you campaign, marketing messages, and all that. I know we can do it. You can ask people's birthday, say when it's your birthday, we'd like to give you a discount on your birthday or anything like that. There are several ways around it. It really depends on your business and how tech savvy you are, and how much you want to invest in your marketing and things like that. Last one that just came to my mind. If you could do like a scorecard, right? If you do like a scorecard, then now when the people come to your restaurant, when they are placed the order, whilst they are waiting, you say, here is a survey tool on maybe the topic can be why vegetables are the best meals in the evening, for example. And the person is answering a question, and vegetables are no, meat is better, and then you can get the person's details like that, and then you send them messages afterwards, things like that. I hope that's my answer.
Yeah, I hope that answers your question. So just in a nutshell, you should be able to find ways to get a contact or information about your customers. It could be through a CRM or a simple portal. mNotify has a CRM that helps you to do that. You can check that out as well. Then once you have that information, personalize it as much as possible, get their birthdays, their names. Then from there, look at promos as well. So see how you can give them special promos and special discounts. And on that note as well, I realized that Mr. Francis Kofigah has dropped a promo code for all of our audience. That's valid from today, 12 December, until Sunday. I'm adding the date so that anyone that watches the recordings later knows. So till 17th December as well. But yeah, it's always a real pleasure interacting with Francis Kofigah. Beyond the days of Presec when he used to punish me in dining hall when I had bad experience, I think now I have a very good customer experience with him. And Kofigah, I would want to say a big thank you for your time, for the nuggets of wisdom, and for all that you shared today. I've written over 5 pages of notes, and for me, there are lots of things to learn from. Yes, anytime you talk to another, there's always a good time to learn. So thank you very much for your time. I'd like to know if there are any final words that you have for our audience before we sign off.
My final word is I have an assignment, and I want you to help me with this. It's good you reminded me. I'm supposed to build a 3-step squeeze page for Doughman, and what that means is traditionally a website is, or how we think a website is a place that I can go to, mNotify.com, that tells me about all your services and everything that you do. Right, but a squeeze page is a page that is designed to squeeze your contacts from you, right? But the assignment is to build a 3-step squeeze page. What that means is, when I come to the page, as much as you are telling me about your services, you're also describing a problem that I have, and then you offer me what they call a lead magnet. So you offer me something that I can download, or a video I can watch, or something that I can immediately use in exchange for my contact information. When I have given you that contact information, the next step is going to ask me for something like where I work, my house location, so you can now start getting my house address, where I stay or where I work, or the type of business that I am into. Then the third step is when you do like a survey where the person answers questions like income bracket, more detailed information that now makes the marketing more personalized, because now you don't just know the name, you know where the person stays. You can now do promos like, we are doing 50% for people who stay in Dakuman, who are bankers, that blah blah blah, right? So it's a 3-step squeeze page, and that's the assignment that I'm come to ask mNotify to help us do it.
Thank you very much.
But I'm grateful for having me, and looking forward to doing this again another time.
Thank you very, very much, Kofigah. It's only Kofigah that would give an assignment after a webinar, but we appreciate that. We salute you for that. So what we'll do is that we would also we have the emails of our participants. We'll send an email and would help with doing all of that. So to our participants, thank you very much for joining us today. It's been very insightful. Thanks for the questions and all that. And as usual, you can always reach out to us via our website. So go to www.mNotify.com, and from there you can book for a demo or book for a free consultancy for any of our services with regards to customer engagement, customer retention, and offering the best in customer experience services as well. Then you can also check out chatbotsafrica.com. We are currently giving out free chatbots for businesses who are ready and have the process to meet their businesses as well. On that note, this was made possible by MEST, and we'd like to say a big thank you to the MEST team and everyone at MEST for always supporting SMEs to grow. Thank you very, very much. I think for those asking for Kofigah's contact as well, he has shared his LinkedIn profile, linkedin.com/in/Francis-Kofigah. So do want to connect with him. You can also connect with me as well, linkedin.com/in/Ron Tagoe, RONTAGOE, and let's keep the conversations going. Thank you very much once again, Kofigah, for your time, and we look forward to having you.
Thank you. And thank you to MEST also for having me. I'm grateful. Ronald, for having me here too. And thank you to everybody that stayed all this.
For 1 hour, 35 minutes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I hope I'm not boring.
You are not at all. All right, cheers.
Thank you. I'm grateful. All right. All the best.